and welcome to The Doctor is In, where we aim to provide you with virtual care in this time of the coronavirus. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez, and you're watching CNN Philippines. I hope all of you are well, safe, and feeling healthy. And as we continue to deal with COVID 19 every day, we learn that it spares no one. So, to the parents out there, it is very important to still be mindful about how our babies and children get the best protection against infection. Remember that they are still building up their immune system. So, how can we protect them during this pandemic? Yun ang tanong natin for today. Today, we have two experts in their respective fields. The first one is Dr. Marivi Dizon. She is a member of the Philippine Dermatological Society and the Society of Pediatric Dermatology. And we also have Robert Kwon, who is the Associate Director for Research and Development at Johnson& Johnson. Thank you both for joining us today. Now, let's start our discussion about caring for infants. We've learned over the last few months that one of the best ways to protect everyone, including babies, from infection is by practicing personal proper hygiene. But in the case of newborns, you need to consider their delicate skin. So here's my question. Dr. Marivi, can you tell us how delicate a baby's skin is compared to that of adults?
Yes, Freddie. So when we have the newborns in the family, we think that their skin is just like the adults. But ultrastructurally or microscopically, their skin is 30% thinner compared to the adults. And having said that, imagine that this is like a wall of your house. You have a thinner wall protecting your house. And so this now is prone to being challenged by external aggressors from outside. So that means there are allergens or irritants that can easily penetrate this very thin wall, this thin skin, and that thin skin is continuously maturing through the first year of life. So we need to remember that for the first year of life, we have to be careful on what we put on the infants, especially those during the formative years of before becoming 1 year of age.
So yes, that's very critical, especially like what you said, the first year of life. And us adults, the skin of an infant is still developing, which is why a baby skin calls for extra attention and care. Now let's talk about bathing a baby naman. I'm sure a lot of parents consider bathing a baby to be somewhat of a challenge. Dr. Marivi, what's the proper way of bathing a baby and how long should it take?
For one, we have to make sure that all the materials are already within reach. And also, everything that we intend to use for bathing our infants, the babies, should be clean or even sterile. And then when it comes to the water, we just have to make sure that it is warm water, or if we're going to be precise about the temperature of the water, it is about 38 degrees or warm, or if you're using degrees Fahrenheit, it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but we're in the Celsius, it's about 38. But without the measuring instrument, we can make use of the elbow. And if you think that the water is already warm enough, then that's a safe temperature to use on infants. Now, also, we have to make use of gentle cleansers to bathe the baby. We cannot make use of water alone when we are cleaning or bathing infants, because the problem with water alone, it cannot carry out the dirt that has settled on the infant's skin. And more so, we are in a hot, humid country. So that means whatever dirt, I'll use dirt in a general term. So it can mean anything about dust or even bacteria. It can easily adhere to the infant's skin. And so with that, it needs a cleanser, to be more precise, a gentle cleanser that will serve as a vehicle to take the bacteria away from the infant. And also, you have to hold the infant properly, and do not add any other harsh substances in that bathing water, because in our culture there are some that they even put alcohol in the bathing water, and that's a big no-no. So you have to be very careful of what you are putting into the baby's bathing water.
Okay, so gentle cleanser is the key for that. So for new parents out there, take note. So taking care of your baby's skin is just as important as taking care of your baby's health. Plus, it can be a fun bonding experience for you and your baby. Now, Dr. Marivi, what other means of protections can we give to our babies in this new normal kind of setting?
It's a good thing that you mentioned that, because nowadays we are thinking that we have to be very careful in being in contact with other people. So as much as possible, especially in this era of we have a pandemic out there, one, do not allow any person to go inside your house, and only the immediate family members, especially the parents who are to handle the baby, especially the newborn. Now, when it comes to protection, we need not go to a big extent of putting all the disinfectants around us. It's just as simple as, one, you have good cleansing habits for all of you, especially the infant. So it's important that, one, to protect the infant, bathe with water and especially with a gentle cleanser. Two, moisturization is also vital. It's important. A lot of people are thinking, why do we need to moisturize? Remember again that that skin is being bombarded by aggressors from outside, and the moisturization is the one that will fortify that skin, that continuing maturing skin. So moisturization is also essential. And just be just be very cautious on using, again, disinfectants, especially alcohol in the child. Be just water and soap is enough. And also, if you feel you are sick, then you know already you have to take precautions and being near the child. But otherwise, being with your child, holding your child, skin to skin contact is very important. That's one thing that you should not be afraid of.
Very good. I'm sure parents learned a lot from those helpful tips, Dr. Marivi. Now, Robert, we've learned about the sensitivity of the baby's skin from Dr. Marivi just now. Now that most of us are still under home quarantine, how can we further protect babies against infections at the home?
Well, I would say that during times like these, of course, protecting your baby, including your baby's delicate skin, it has to start in your own homes. But moms should also remember that they don't need to feel alone. There are trusted partners that can help. They can, for example, provide very useful advice or products that are gentle to baby's skin while keeping it protected.
Very good. So we all want our babies to smell good and their skin to be healthy and soft, especially. But sometimes we just tend to grab what attracts us visually. Now, my question is, the right bath and lotion for babies. With so many choices out there, what ingredients should we look for, or what ingredients should we try to avoid?
Well, I would say that moms should look for products that are both gentle and have the ability to protect baby's delicate skin against the things in the outside world that can harm it. Things like irritants, germs, and dryness. I would also say moms should look for products that are doctor recommended and clinically tested for safety. For example, at Johnson's, our goal and mission is to create only the gentlest products in the world, products that can help protect baby skin and nurture its healthy development.
That's good to know, Robert. And of course, caring for babies these days can feel like quite a challenge for a lot of parents. That's why online materials on how to take care of babies are very helpful, just like what you touched on earlier. But can you tell us about the School of Gentle?
Oh, yes, I'd be happy to. So, from its very beginning, Johnson's has been committed to improving the lives of mothers and babies. But to do this well, we understand the critical importance of partnering closely with healthcare professionals and other leading baby experts. So, the School of Gentle is a series of initiatives that leverages this kind of partnership to bring moms the kind of advice and information that can help them to take better care of their babies. I cordially invite moms and dads to visit the Johnson's Baby page for more information on the School of Gentle.
Thank you very much, Robert and Dr. Marivi, for joining us, important information on how to take good care of babies during this time. We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, we will talk about your toddlers and preschoolers and how to keep them safe and healthy during this new normal. You're watching The Doctor Is In on CNN Philippines. Welcome back to The Doctor Is In on CNN Philippines. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez. While we do worry about our health and the health of our elders, the risks of COVID-19 pose a threat to the well-being of our children as well. We need to keep our children healthy by giving them proper nutrition, enough exercise, and also keep an eye on their mental health. I'll explain further on that as the show goes on. But to help us in the discussion is Dr. April Joy Sarte. She is a pediatrician and a diplomat at the Philippine Pediatric Society. Welcome to the show, Dr. Sarte.
Good afternoon, Dr. Freddie.
Now, Dr. April, let's start with safety precaution. Good hygiene, such as hand washing these days, are second nature to us adults. But for children, it could be quite a struggle for them. Can you give us some points? Scrub away all those germs regularly and enjoy doing it.
Yes, it is important to do hand washing before and after touching any part of your surroundings. It is one of the best way to avoid getting sick and prevents the spread of germs such as bacteria and viruses. So kailangan po natin hugasan ng ating mga kamay gamit ang malinis na tubig. Lagyan po ito ng sabon at kuskusin po ng mabuti ang iba't ibang parte ng ating kamay tulad ng daliri, sa pagitan nito, sa ating mga palad, at pati na rin po ang ating mga wrist. Gawin po ito ng umaabot po sa 20 seconds or kumanta po tayo ng 2 happy birthday songs and then hugasan po uli ng malinis na tubig at patuyuin po gamit ang clean paper towel or i-air dry po natin. Kung wala naman pong sabon, pwede po tayong gumamit ng alcohol-based sanitizer which contains at least 60% alcohol.
That's right. So teach your children how to properly wash their hands by following these easy steps on your screen. And if your kids see you doing this, they're more likely to do the same. So practice what you preach. Now,
Yes.
what's on the outside is just as important as what's on the inside. So eating a well-balanced diet is needed to boost your immune system and your children's as well. Now, Dr. April, what's a balanced, healthy diet for children that could help build a better immune system?
So a well-balanced diet should include fruits, vegetables, nuts, whole grains, dairy products, and food from animal sources such as pork, beef, chicken, fish, seafoods. They should avoid eating junk foods or food without nutritional values. So they should make time for eating. You should give them food on a scheduled time. Mas makakabuti na bigay natin yung mga pagkain 4 to 6 times na meals and including snacks and advise them to drink lots of water. So panatilihin natin na maayos at neutral yung attitude natin habang kumakain. We should engage in food acceptance modeling technique kung saan pinapakita natin sa ating mga anak kung paano kumain ng gulay at tayo mismo nagugustuhan natin ang pagkain ito. Iwasan po natin na magsabi na kainin mo to, kung hindi mo kakainin, hindi ka makakapaglaro. It will only lead to more negative views regarding eating.
That's right. And one thing also to note, because our children are mostly at home, it's easy for them to just snack on whatever food they see. So that's another issue for our children is that they tend to eat more than what they need. So parents, keep note of that. So we'll take another quick break, but when we return, we will give you tips on how to keep your children physically active during the quarantine. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez, and welcome back to The Doctor is In. Proper nutrition is the key to keep our children healthy, but it is also important to keep them physically and mentally active in this new normal. Joining us is pediatrician Dr. April Joy Sarte. Now, keeping our children at home is the best way to protect them from COVID 19. But because of this, they may not be getting the daily exercise they need. So, my question, Dr. April, how can we keep our children active while confined at home?
So in order to keep our children active at home, you should make a plan. Kausapin mo sila about their daily routines, like pagkagising sa umaga, sila na yung mag-aayos ng bed nila, and then sila, after that, pwede silang tumulong sa mga gawaing bahay. Make ample time para makapag-bond sa kanila and do activities like a family, like exercising, playing indoor games or at your garage, reading stories, watching educational programs, or even cooking or baking together. Make this moment fun and meaningful with your children.
That's right. So we should not only focus on the physical fitness, but on the mental side as well. And we can do that by letting them take active breaks, such as drawing, writing, and painting. And you can exercise their brains as well. Now let's answer some of these questions posted on the CNN Philippines Facebook page. Marami tayong questions. And our first one is from Charmaine. Ang tanong ni Charmaine, how do I know if my kid is suffering from mental health problems? What do you think, Dr. April?
Um, we should watch for the changes in behavior, for those physical complaints, for the emotional problems they are encountering. Sometimes yung dating routines nila, yung normal na ginagawa nila, hindi na nila nasusunod. Like, for example, not, before nakakatulog sila, before 9, ngayon, as until 12, hindi na sila nakakatulog. So, there is something ongoing in their minds na um, we should watch out for. So talk to your child, listen to them, let them know that you are here to listen and encourage them to be a better person.
That's right. And I also like to stress to our viewers that if you notice something, uh, there's a mental health with your child, it is okay to ask a doctor, ask professional help about it. So there's a prevailing stigma about this. We want to be able to assure the parents that it is okay to seek professional help. Okay, now we have another question from Lynn. It is hard to keep my child off his iPad. What can I do to lessen screen time? Maraming mga tanong na ganito. What do you think, Dr. April?
So we should set rules and limitation. You should use those gadgets for good. So hindi dapat maapektuhan yung paggamit ng gadgets nila sa oras ng pagkain, sa pagtulog, at sa pag-aaral. Nowadays, we should allow more time for their schoolworks and for communicating with their friends or other relatives. So habang kumakain sana, dapat we should keep away those gadgets and converse with them and make your eating time enjoyable. We should also monitor and supervise yung mga paggamit nila ng social media and lagyan natin ng mga parental controls.
Yes, that's very important, I'm sure. Very good tips that you gave for us. And we'd like to thank you today for joining us today, Dr. April Joy Sarte. And
Thank
while
you.
physical distancing and good personal hygiene are your best protections against COVID 19, maintaining a healthy diet is important to keep your immune system strong. So, again, we'd like to thank our guests for joining us today, and we'd like to thank all of those who gave in their questions and joined us in our discussion today. I hope you have learned something valuable with this episode. So just remember to keep safe. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. for The Doctor Is In, only here on CNN Philippines.